Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 New Order as the Russian Revolutionary Front. Let us continue on from where we last left off. So, unfortunately, we keep trying to do raids against Komi. It keeps failing, and I'm honestly not too sure why it keeps failing. But I'll keep on pressing the button, and hopefully at some point it'll actually go through for us. What do we want? What do we want? Do we want to deploy more labor battalions? Yeah, sure, why not? Okay, what do we want to research? You're like 65. And nighttime spotting, land night attack. I mean, I guess we'll take the night vision. Ultimatum. This is okay. Like, once again, we are not going to back down to you stinky boys. Luckily, now we actually have troops in the area. Now, unfortunately, is this still gonna wait? Are you still gonna kick off now, or are you gonna fail? Because now that we're defending against you, I don't know if we can initiate the raid against Komi as easily. I mean, we should have this on because we only have 3 divisions now to fight against Komi, which is definitely not what we want to see. Yeah, we've met with Yakovlev. Let's go with the harsh truth next. Which of these we actually would want? I guess we'll probably go with train new workers would make the most sense. Drinking with the Marshal. To good health, toasted Alexander Yogorovs. A shot glass upraised, glass clinking against glass. And to you, said Marshal Gregory Zukov, for quaffing a shot. And almost toppling over his seat. Eyes flashing as he caught his breath. Zukov turned to Yakovlev with a grin. Got a fine taste in vodka, Comrade Yakovlev. Hits and burns just the right way. Is this really the same swill the Red Army provisions? No, not at all, Comrade Marshal. Yakovlev held their dulled vodka bottle up, scratches and blurred spots glinting across the overhead lamp's harsh glare. It's from a brewer just outside Yukta. Fine man making his ends meet with his wife and 3 children. I felt myself obliged to recompense with his work. Hence, the bottles we're imbibing. With brew this strong, he could teach our own thing at 2. He can teach our own a thing or 10. I'll have some of my men fetch several barrels tomorrow afternoon. The office fell silent as Yakovlev's cheer faded. That is... He cleared his throat, fixing Zukov with a stare that didn't quite meet his own. I'm afraid this bottle is all he can make for now, Comrade Marshal. The war has been harsh on his grains and potatoes. Is that so? Both men lapsed into thought. Yukov's outskirts were impenetrable from bandit raids. The Marshal himself saw to that. Any encouragement from the larger warlords would have to have been stymied long before they reached his sector's capital. Perhaps he had an inkling of the true cause of his brewer's plight. Then again, perhaps not. For the war effort's sake? Well, some other time then, Zukov decided. For some reason, Yakovlev shook a little bit less from where he had sat. I'm sure he will appreciate your patronage. I mean, I would say it's a little suspicious. But what do I know? Okay, so if we can defend against you... I mean, they're only attacking with 2 divisions right now, which is really, really embarrassing for them. Hey, enemies defeated. That actually went really, really, really quickly. So I'm happy to see that. So once again, I do hate how the border conflicts completely screw up your front lines here. Guys, go here. You go back to this front. You go back over to here. Throw you all under one leadership. So now... Hopefully, but if we do the raid, it'll actually be successful this time and not fail for the 5th time. As nice as it would be, I mean, it would be nice if Komi would just surrender immediately, as opposed to me having to worry about all the little shenanigans that they might be getting up to. Just it's like, just give me what I want. I don't know why this is so hard for you. Apparently, one of you does not actually have a front to go to. No, you should be here. Thank you. 77 points. Warlord development. Let's do some more industrial investments here. Excellent. Again, just getting the free production units is really, really nice. We're up to 10. But so much is actually being spent on consumer goods, which is not happy about that. Oh, we actually need more power. We actually have 4 production units we're actually not able to make use of. Because our power supply is actually pretty poor. And so what we actually need to do is reconnect more of the power grid. Which requires us 75 political power, so it's going to take us a little while to get there. But that's fine. How expensive is a power grid? In construction. Power grid, because you cost 12, and you also cost power. And you're slightly cheaper. Nuclear at 45,000 for 16, huh? Is that actually worthwhile? For 16. I guess they're more like space efficient. So it'd be 40, because you're what, 45? And 800 times 4 is... No, building 4 of these is actually cheaper than building 1 of you. But yeah, I guess it's locked by building slots, so I guess that makes some sense. Let's build this up first. I know it's going to take a trillion years, but we kind of have to try to get our power plants up. I guess I never really looked at the power grid situation because it never, ever came up when we played as the United States, right? Like, there was never a point where I was at risk of having not enough power. Yeah, because we're consuming 7. Italy has won the war against Turkey. Congratulations to them. Archangelos produces 10. Mezin produces 3. Building power is -7. Who would have thought that everything, like, things wouldn't be like, you know, the greatest here? Theory and practice. In theory, the Red Army is free to have their fill of poor farmer's cross before his own babe's mouth. In practice, the Yukon district hasn't been sent in much of the countryside excursion in months. Their time was better spent manning the border than acting as a protection racket in uniform. In theory, the Red Army can organize entire industries into servile beasts that fulfills their burdens for their burdens alone. In practice, the Yukon district's quartermasters visit the city's mills and markets at least once a week. Nearly every peddler awaits their arrival, or rather, their ruble's arrival, with childlike excitement. In theory, the Red Army enforces socialism antipathy for capitalist practice wherever it patrols. In practice, Tucson and Co. open their doors through no small amount of monetary compensation to the military government in Utah not 3 days ago. Their new patrons include the MPs standing watches outside, all eager for cigarettes, vodka, shmemshki seeds, and more. In theory, theory may state that the Red Army acts like dictators, but Georgy Zhukov prefers leniency in practice. We need to save with the 75. We need that. We need these power grids. Like immediately, like so fast. I don't know if there's anything we can do to get more power immediately. But that's okay. Guns for food. I'm guessing we can maybe talk to one of these smaller states to try to work something out with them. Oh, did they give me my... Okay, no. Wait, what happened to your loot, buddy? I understand failing now if you have no loot, but I am disappointed to say the least. By the way, how are you two still at war? I thought that war was going to be over like immediately, but apparently that has not been the case. I guess they have like so few divisions that like there's not really too much they can actually do, which is very, very funny. Faction, okay, concerning. Let's appease Socheski. And meet with veterans to once again decrease factionalism. Excellent. We're now back to manageable. And our oil refineries will be done in just a few days. That is going to give us... Okay, Burgundy's got the nuclear bomb. But this will give us a lot of influence. And on top of having the influence, we're no longer going to have the consumer good production factor penalty. So maybe that'll free up like one more civilian factory for us. Which I guess doubles production for the nuclear, or for the reactor we're building, which is nice. Let's go back to construction. This has gone down. Hey, see, look at that. 2 factories. So now instead of being done in 67, it's done in 65. Which, I mean, it's faster. Unfortunately, it is still... What is that? Like 3 years from now? But, I mean, 3 years, I guess, is better than... 5. It's really not. It's really not saying anything, though, is it? Okay, let's see. What technologies can we get? I think we need to look at, because we've got some decent military techs. We need to now look at our engineering techs for what we can do. Research speed could be nice. And then we're on this row here. Do any of you give me more? No, I was going to say, did any of you give me more energy? But apparently not. Okay, let's go for batch production methods 2. Follow that up. Max factory and state. Construction speed goes up. Population goes up. Prison efficiency. Army organization region goes up. I mean, that could be nice. Let's go industry management for a little bit more PUs for GDP. I mean, our GDP is so low, it might translate to like 1 point. But 1 point is 1 point, so I will still take it. Okay, let's do the distribution networks next. Yogorovs Orders. In the end, it was General Zhukov's program that clinched it. Marshal Yegorov and his advisors recognized Zhukov's argumentation that the Red Army could no longer afford to fight as if its industrial capacity rivaled that of Germany. 2 decades of conflict and bombing have considerably hindered the replenishment of the front's tank fleet, among other things. In the 50s, the Red Army managed to overrun the Germans' lax frontier troops and crush its outnumbered tank divisions, but when the tide had begun to turn and the fascists had started trading vehicles for vehicle, the front's ability to continue mechanized warfare had withered away. Zhukov's suggestion to withhold tanks from the front line until a decisive victory can be earned had been decried as cowardice by Tovjevsky's, among many others. But Zhukov has again and again calmly defended his ideas in a series of letter to Archangelsk. By letting the enemy exhaust himself in fruitless assaults on line after line of minefields and defensive positions, his local advantage in material can be rendered irrelevant. It ultimately littles how much armored fighting vehicles each side begins with. What matters the most, according to Zhukov, is which side is left holding the strategic breakthrough capacity once the dust settles. And we will marshal our forces for one decisive victory. So we have a nice bonus for you. So you now cost 25, which is crazy. I don't know why it's so cheap. Do we have do you have like a modifier to make it cheaper? Like 50 just seems so low. But maybe I'm missing something here. I don't quite know. But it does feel like there's something not quite right. Pragmatic diplomacy. Replace closed economy with heavy protectionism. The consumer goods go by 20%. Consumer goods production factor plus 10%. More factory output. Research speed goes up. I mean, it seems decent. Let me have you 3. Which of these would I want to deal with the most? There's influence of Fracture Republic. For the Komi Republic, for the Zalots Republic, or for Volgograd. Volgograd is you. Currently has 3 to 6 divisions. Komi is 12 to 18. Whereas you over here has 2 to 4. I mean, I'd much rather work with the with Komi. Because 12 to 18 divisions is pretty substantial. Can I even train a new unit yet? Like, is that even something that we can even think about doing? Like, I'll add 2 divisions to start training up, but yeah, we don't like have anything at all. Like, not even close. 58. Let's go by 1. So in like 2 weeks, roughly, we can start reconnecting more power grids, which will be really, really, really nice. By the way, how is currently manageable? Happy to see it. So I want to look for more loot. Would that be silly? I mean, another free school. We'll hold on for it for now. I'm not gonna go too crazy on this. At least for the time being. Okay, 4 days on you. Necessary sacrifice. I mean, the 5% stability is like so. Is there any? Maybe we just want to wait for as long as possible before we take -5. Maybe we just get our way down to United Front as quickly as possible. Because I don't want to lose stability right now. Because, I mean, it's just going to make, it should make everything worse. Like, we're at the 12%. Like, it seems bad. But remember, we did start at, like, -9 or something like that. So, it's a pretty substantial improvement from where we have been in the past. But it's not crazy by any means. Okay, let's reconnect power grids once again. Currently, we have concerning factionalism. It's 53 to 81. So we could appease Tukhachevsky a little bit. And we get stability from doing this as well. Which is nice. But I wish you weren't such a meanie pants. We do it every 10 days. So, I mean, theoretically, I guess this doesn't reset every 10 days either. Yeah, so let's do the appeasement. I don't know, like, again, we don't know how much this is. It's a small amount. So, presumably, like, these cancel each other out, which is fine. I'd rather them cancel each other out than just letting the factionalism grow and grow and grow and grow. Like, that's not going to help us in any way. But, I mean, no matter what, I think he can do this way more often than we can. Oh, yes, we want to work with veterans as well. Because, again, it gives us more influence, and it also decreases factionalism, which is nice. Yeah, so meet with those veterans. That'll be like 2 points versus 1 point in the other direction, so it should stay manageable, I think. Again, assuming the numbers are fairly even. Which they may be, they might not be. I don't quite know. Okay, mistakes of the past. Let us learn from America. This is going to improve our military situation as well. The Americans may have once been our enemies, but in the West Russian War, they proved themselves a useful ally and supplier of goods. AA guns helped to force the Germans back from the AA line, and there were certainly still back channels that are active. While America hasn't always been a friend of the Soviet Union and its ideals, doesn't mean that we can't gain their assistance in the future. Staff freeze in the UK has killed hundreds. The initial Bucharest wave of Soviet industrialization brought with many benefits. However, it proved to be, at best, inadequate to face total war against the Germans. Perhaps pursuing autarky should not have been a primary goal of the military-industrial program. Okay, so this is going to go from propaganda to state press only. Which means not great. We get more political power, but I mean, we're going to lose basically all the stability. So I was worried about the -5, but we're immediately going to get hit by a -10. So really, no matter what, it slightly increases press rights. Wait, is propaganda better or worse than state press? Okay, it's actually considered more... Okay, there's a crisis for Japan. I think I have to skip that song just in case it's copyrighted. I don't remember if it actually is. Okay, so state press only is actually more... more drift defense. War support goes down. Political power gains better. So I guess we're actually loosening the practice. Target didn't work. War communism didn't work either. Bo allowed statements that certainly would get the first generation of Bolsheviks rolling in their graves. But does that really matter when they're followed by hundreds of thousands of youth in the unmarked graves taken before their time? The truth is, the Soviet Union collapsed for many reasons, and future Grand Marshal Zhukov believes one of the reasons was its downright overbearing control over every aspect of the state, to the detriment of itself. Okay, so we're going to get that going. It's going to be a big stability loss, but that's okay. Training the men. Fuck your mother. Amirikansky. Jonathan Avery followed the heartwarming compliment back to disarrayed recruits, where he locked eyes with the one who said it. He was a tall, stocky fellow with a face that could make a bulldog run away crying, or fall in love, depending on the dog. His fatigues were 2 sizes too small for his build. For that, Jonathan was grateful. It was pretty hard to intimidate someone when your camouflage trousers fit like pantyhose. He humored the Ivan bulldog hybrid while moseying up 30 steps from him. The other recruits had begun to gather around, forming a ring of bodies of walls. Can you repeat that, recruit Karambinov? He said. Muscles bulging as Karambinov had seethed, bearing his canines like a rabid mutt he half was. I said, his fist curled and raised up, fuck your mother, Aramatkeski. In retrospect, the whole debacle unfolded in 3 short stages. First, a clumsy haymaker from the man-dog, barely any weight from his shoulder and hips, likely to break his own knuckles and wrist before someone else's jaw. Second, Jonathan sidestepped, followed by a grapple on the outstretched limb. Third and last, the leg sweep that brought both of them down to the snowy ground. A choke hold, and 7 seconds later, the brute fell silent and unmoving. But Jonathan rolled him over like a log and cuffed his hands just to make sure. The MPs will see to him soon enough. But for now, the stranded CIA agent started to snow off his coat and stood up, facing fully his new class for the next 3 months. That's one way to start boot camp, he japped. One lesson, learn the basics of close quarter combat. 10 army experience. Hey, that's going to be enough for us to get our next doctrine here. We're already like halfway done our land doctrine tree. That's crazy. Okay, that is war in the Dominican Republic. What song? Wait, what song is this? I have no idea, actually. Okay. We'll let it play. Or is this because of the invasion of Dominican Republic? I'm not too sure. Okay, once again, we are concerning. We can appease Sobchesky just a little bit. Nothing too crazy, just a little bit. The Rights Act of 63 has passed. Congratulations to them. It looks like the thief territory of Yugura has succeeded in their war against the camp, which is fine. I mean, I know we only have 3 divisions, but we should be okay. There is the war in Madagascar. And we'll deploy these guys basically as soon as we can. I know they're not going to the supplies really necessary, but I'm honestly not extremely concerned if they're actually fully equipped or not. But speaking of that, we do want our units in the field to be upgraded first before we send more supplies to get new troops on the field. So let's actually make sure you guys actually have some evasion plans ready to go. Okay, excellent. Just so we can get our planning bonuses, which will be very, very, very nice for us. Okay, again, we're back to manageable. Victory in Turkey. Left-wing populism. So they're actually going a little bit more, actually social democratic. I feel like Turkey in America campaign went a little bit more reactionary, but not like it makes a big deal for us. Again, Turkey doesn't actually have any content. I think Turkey will be like a fun country to play once they actually have content in them. But I think for at least right now, this is a pretty good time for us to end this episode. So you can enjoy with a thumbs up. Not enjoy, give it a thumbs down. If you want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.